I guess you could call this part two, but part two, why you should go watch Squid Game. Like I was saying before, the first game ended. They could have went home. They didn't want to go home because you got people that had debts that was not that money was not enough for them basically. They needed more money. You dig? So they didn't care who lived or died. They was trying to win. You understand me? They debts was impeccable. So boom. The second game was another Chinese like game. I'ma just explain it. So basically it's like these sugar treats they make, but in the sugar treat they got different shapes within them, right? So the ideal is the game is you got to get your shape out without breaking your shape. Meaning you can break all the edges around the shape, but if the shape itself breaks, you lose. And you know what that means. If you lose, you's gones. You's gones. I just realized I ain't got my hat on, but I'm in the mix of getting my hair done. Fuck all that. But anyways, if you can't cut the shape out, your ass is gone. So I'm gonna tell you what happened, right? The shapes was a triangle, I think a triangle, square, umbrella, and a circle, I believe. Now, mind you, like I said, nobody knows what the game is. All they know is they supposed to pick a shape before the game start. That's all they know. They don't know what the fuck the game is, none of that shit. Luckily, a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, once they knew what the game was, realized, oh, I played this before. And if you got a shape like a triangle, square, or a fucking circle, then you was good. You dig what I'm saying? But if your ass picked that umbrella like my man right here in the front, 4, 5, 6, my bad. That's how many it was. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 is the main motherfucking character. This is the guy that won at the beginning, got sent to the island. He the main person we gonna be watching, paying attention to the whole show, all that, right? This motherfucker picked that umbrella. And when he realized what they had to do, he was shitting himself. Of course, he the main character, so he didn't die. But let me tell you what ended up happening. You had contestants in there that also picked umbrellas, but they had different strategies. You had somebody that had like a needle, bobby pin, or what is called one of those pins, basically a pin or some type of needle or whatever. They'll take a lighter, make it hot, and when you make it hot, it'll make it just go on straight through the stuff. So that was making it easy for some of them. They had a strategy as far as that go. They like, bitch, I'm gonna make this hot. I'm gonna, and that worked for some of them. You know what I'm saying? Some of them did that. But the main, real best strategy was to just lick it. And that's what everybody ended up doing once they seen him do it. He licked it. He licked around where the edges of the lines and stuff was at. He licked it. He was able to get his shit out safe. He didn't break it. He damn near didn't make it, though. I'm talking about a split last second got that bitch. You feel me? Another bunch of motherfuckers died. I don't know how many, but a bunch of motherfuckers died. You understand? As far as the umbrella motherfuckers, pretty much most of them died. I'm not even lie. Like the umbrella having motherfuckers, they died. Except for him. I know he survived, but everybody else, shit. Okay, so the next game, y'all. This shit was not even a game, if you ask me, but it was a surprise, okay? So every night after every game, they give them snacks and whatever. They vote, whatnot, and then they just go to sleep, wake up, play the next game. Well, the people watching, as far as like the guards and the people watching on the cameras and stuff, and the headmaster or whatever, noticed that players was getting agitated, things of that nature. Couple of fights even happened and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? One person got beat to death. You know what I'm saying? But back to the surprise game, right? The surprise game was basically manhunt, and manhunt went like this: when they were supposed to go to sleep, nobody went to sleep. The team that was basically, wanting to stay, attacked the other team. I'm talking about it was a bloodbath. I'm talking about they was dropping like flies. You understand me? But my boy, he stood strong. He go always stand strong because he the star of the show. But yeah, shit got real. And I'm talking about realer than real. I'm talking about Holyfield real. You dig what I'm saying? Biting, cutting, scratching, all that. You dig what I'm saying? It was chaos. Boom. After about maybe 10 minutes of that, lights come on, guards come in, shooting guns and shit, calm everybody down, start dragging bodies out. It's crazy because they already had caskets coming and shit. That shit crazy, bro. It's just crazy. Now, mind you, that was a surprise game. added most money to the pot. Of course, the crazy people that started everything and pretty much finished a lot of it was happy because that's more money in the pot for them. You dig? So now the next game must start because mind you, this happened in the middle of the night, but now it's day. You feel me? So it's time to get to it. Next game, they basically was playing tug of war. So they had to pick groups of, I think, 5. I think it had to be teams of 5 or either teams of 10. Either way it go, it was fucking tug of war to the death. You understand me? To the motherfucking death. And when I say to the death, I'm talking about if your team get pulled across that line, they going down. Meaning you might not fall right when the first person in front of you fall, but if they fall 9 times out of 10, you falling. Because if they still hanging on to that rope, they pulling everything with them. So best bet is to have the best advantage or whatever, right? Mind you, he had a scrawny little team. I'm talking about probably the weakest team for real. The weakest probably for real. I'm not even kidding. He had the old man on his team. Like literally old ass dude. Like what he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, they ended up winning. Nobody on their team bit the dust. You dig what I'm saying? That ended. They voted. Of course, they still stand. So they went on to the next game. The next game was another game where you had to pick partners, but this time it was teams of 2. In this situation, you had to play marbles with your partner. Now, I don't particularly know if this was a game where they all could have won, because most of the games was games where everybody could have won, meaning nobody really had to die the whole time, for real. This is why you got to go watch it, bro, because really nobody had to die at no point in none of the games. Everybody could have survived. I'm dead ass serious. But with the marbles, it was interesting because you had to pick a game of your choice to play with your teammate, right? Now, they did say the only way you can win is if you took all of your partner marbles. You feel what I'm saying? But they didn't say that you basically will lose either, though. They didn't say you will lose if, you know what I'm saying, if you don't. You feel me? So that one was interesting. But like I said, he was playing with the old man. Just go see what happened. He just go see what happened. One other guy got bamboozled so bad, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous. But anyways, after that, they went on to the next game. I ain't finna talk about the next game because the next game is when the VIPs came, and go watch the show to find out what the VIPs is. I digress.